Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us today for the next webinar in our What's New series. In today's webinar, we'll cover some of the newest features in Microsoft 365 that you can implement in your business, as well as covering some brand new features that are coming up in the next few months. Of course, don't feel like you need to make notes or take it all in straight away, as we'll be sending out a recording of the webinar and a follow-up fact sheet later today. And also, if you have any questions, then please feel free to drop them into the Q&A box at the side at any time. I'll do my best to keep an eye on these as we go along, but there's also going to be some dedicated time for questions at the end of the webinar. So what's on the agenda for today? First up, view your current Outlook rules and create new ones with Copilot. Set instructions for Copilot to automatically RSVP to incoming meeting invitations. AI-powered image editing is coming to PowerPoint. Create custom Teams meetings AI recap summaries, and prevent accidentally sending messages in Teams by changing one new setting. And then, of course, what's coming next? As always, it's good to see so many people coming back and joining us again, but welcome, of course, to all of the new faces as well. Let's start with a quick introduction to Bedroq. My name is Craig Mundy, and I'm the Digital Marketing Manager at Bedroq. You might even recognize my voice from other videos on our website or YouTube channel. Bedroq is an IT managed service provider, and we're now a Microsoft Solutions partner for security. And this means that most of the IT that we implement is based on the Microsoft stack. So that's things like Microsoft 365, Teams, Azure, etc. It also means that we meet all of the technical competencies, quality of service standards, and customer criteria that Microsoft demand in the IT security world. We're also experts in secure, resilient networks and managed IT solutions where high performance is critical. We work with organizations that have some of the high security requirements in the UK, and we manage mission critical IT and operational technology for those highly regulated organizations. The most important thing we want to achieve is to make sure that your IT strategy is supporting your business as a whole. And we do this with the help of our 8 strategic rocks, and you can see them on the slide here. Data, skills, backup, strategy, investment, security, quality of service, and collaboration. The collaboration rock is the focus of this webinar series, as most of the Microsoft 365 apps that I'll talk about are collaboration tools. Now, many people that we have come across have invested heavily into their IT, bought all of these apps and have the best Microsoft licenses, but they're not using them to their full potential and therefore not seeing the best return on investment. So really, that's the aim of this webinar series, to keep you up to date with everything that's coming out and everything that you can start to implement that you've probably already got access to, and hopefully start to make a big difference to your business strategy. Now, Bedroq also offers cybersecurity support, and I'm sure that we're all more than aware of the cyber attacks in the news. And recovery from something like this can be a lengthy and costly process. So it's increasingly important for any organization of any size to be prepared, because these sorts of attacks are becoming more common. As I've said, Bedroq have a lot of experience of working with organizations with high security requirements. We've got our own cybersecurity specialists who use these sorts of events as ways to improve our own offerings and systems. We're Cyber Essentials accredited, and we're part of the National Cybersecurity Centre Industry 100 as well, meaning we have a lot of first-hand knowledge and guidance to share. So if it's on your mind, if you're looking to better assess and understand your cybersecurity needs and requirements, then please get in touch and we can discuss best practice, consult what you're already doing to prepare, as well as offer training to bring you and your team up to speed. So just drop me an email or go through the contact page on our website and we'll set up a meeting with our cybersecurity experts. All right, let's get into it then. So Microsoft are bringing new capabilities to Copilot, which enable you to view existing Outlook inbox rules, as well as create new ones. So with this update, you'll be able to ask Copilot to set up new rules that automatically manage what happens to new emails coming into your inbox without even having to open your Outlook settings. For instance, let's take the example in the screenshot. Without even specifying the specific email address, although I'm sure if you're more specific when you're asking it to make these rules, it'll be more helpful and more accurate. Um, but in this example, they've set up an Outlook inbox rule that automatically moves new emails from their manager into a specific folder. Copilot then clearly lays out the name of the rule, the conditions that must be met for it to activate, and then the specific outcomes for when those conditions are met. You can, of course, iterate these in the chat if it seems that Copilot hasn't quite understood your rule first time. Then, once you're happy with it, simply click confirm and it'll instantly update your Outlook rules. Again, all without even opening Outlook. From automatically moving marketing emails to a lower priority folder, to color coding emails from specific people, to even specifying a color or folder for emails that have you in the to section versus when you're simply CC'd into an email. All of this helping you to, at a glance, prioritize your busy inbox. It's not entirely clear if you must already have a different folder set up within Outlook to then be able to assign a rule to it, but it probably doesn't help for you to go ahead and set those things up ahead of time, and then Outlook can do the rest. As I mentioned earlier, Copilot will show you existing inbox rules as well. So that includes the rule names, the conditions, actions, and their status. Rules created in this way through Copilot will operate the same as the rules that you create through Outlook settings, meaning that they will apply only to future incoming messages, and it's not going to automatically move or modify any existing messages sitting in your inbox. Additionally, new rules will be visible and manageable through Outlook's native rules settings. These sorts of rules can be a really neat way of helping you organize and stay on top of the barrage of emails that can come through from all sorts of sources. So if you don't already, perhaps it's worth having a look at some of the options or maybe some other people's suggestions of their favorite rules. Then when this update lands, you can jump right on it and get all of your rules easily set up with the help of Copilot. Now, this update is due between now and early March. Along a similar vein of using Copilot to set up rules, we've got Outlook users that use new and web versions with a Copilot license. You're soon going to be able to create custom calendar instructions that allow Copilot to automatically respond to incoming meeting invites. Microsoft haven't really given us a lot of details, but they have given a few examples. Always accept meetings from /name if my calendar is free. So you can specify a specific email address or name of someone in your organization, and then it'll accept those meetings straight away if there isn't a clash in your diary. Then another example was always follow meetings scheduled after 5 p.m. So although you may not be able to attend, you might be able to find out more about what went down. And the other example they gave was always remove cancelled meetings from my calendar. Now, all of these actions will appear in the Copilot button on the Outlook calendar, and you will receive notifications as well as activity logs for all of the calendar actions that Copilot completes on your behalf. Once this update rolls out, there will be a first run experience that will automatically appear and guide you through this new feature. So you can quickly and easily get to grips with what's possible, as well as get started and actually set up your first instructions as well. Much like the previous update, I can see this being a big help and a nice quality of life update that will help you to keep on top of your inbox and meetings. And we all know that I love a time save, and even the one that's simply automatically deleting your cancelled meetings will save us a few clicks here and there, which we all know adds up in the long run. As with both of these rule-based updates, I'd be fairly cautious initially and still make sure to double check your calendar and your inbox to ensure that your rules are doing what you expect them to and that you're not missing out on your important emails or meetings. But this update is also due between now and early March. So make sure to keep an eye out and get ready to set up some new rules to help you alleviate some of that admin side of your job. Right, moving on. Let's have a little look at PowerPoint. There's a new designer editor integration coming to PowerPoint. It's going to offer a modern AI-powered image editing experience directly within your slides. Microsoft have actually given us a lot of detail about many of the capabilities that will come as the update, and I'll just talk you through them just now. First up, generative erase, which will remove unwanted elements from images. Got generative move, which will allow you to reposition objects within an image. Add text, a nice and straightforward one, lets you insert text directly onto the image. Edit text, which is a bit more interesting, as it can recognize existing text in an image and then let you edit it. Again, I'm not entirely sure how that one's going to go down to make sure that it's using the right font, etc. But a really interesting one for sure. We've got upscale, which is said to improve image resolution, which, again, really not sure how that one will work in reality, but I am quite keen to see that in action. We've got background removal, which is another obvious one. Simply removes unwanted backgrounds from your image. And this is perhaps one of the most useful tools, providing that it does so cleanly. I've used many a free online tool that is a background remover, but it leaves you with a jagged outline or some random bits of background left behind. So again, we'll just have to wait and see how powerful this option actually is. We've got auto enhance, and this one will automatically improve color balance and vibrancy. And lastly, effects, which will let you apply different creative filters and styles from a list of options. All of these features are often locked behind a premium paywall kind of thing in third-party applications or sites, but bringing all of these powerful tools into one place without even having to leave PowerPoint could be a bit of a game changer. Now, I know others like myself will already have access to preferred editing software, but this could really help fill that gap for many others, especially if it's just needing for a really quick fix, like removing a background from a logo, for example. And you can see in the screenshot that clicking the Edit Picture button will open the image into a new editing window where you can find the options that I've just listed. Then, once you're happy with that, you can save it, move it around your PowerPoint as normal. Copilot license users have full access to all generative AI features. However, unfortunately, unlicensed users have a capacity-limited access, with in-app messaging notifying when those limits are reached. At this time, again, unfortunately, I don't know what those limits will be, but at least you will be able to access some of those features, which, again, as I said, could be really helpful if you just need a really quick fix and you don't need to use it all that often. This update was previously due to roll out last December. However, it's expected to roll out again between now and early March. Let's stick with the AI-powered updates, but move on to a new feature that's coming to Microsoft Teams. Now, not everyone at a meeting needs the same things from a meeting recap. So Microsoft is introducing a new way to personalize meeting summaries in Microsoft Teams. If you have a Copilot license, the custom AI summary feature lets you create tailored meeting notes using sample content, instructions, or pre-built templates. You will see a new option to create custom AI summaries in Teams Meeting Recap, where, as I said, you can build and save templates using sample notes, free-form instructions, or even pre-built structures. Microsoft have told us that there will be 2 out-of-the-box templates available on rollout. Firstly, speaker summary, and this lets you organize the contents of a meeting based on who said what, and your executive report, which gets high-level takeaways that capture the key discussions. Perhaps the more interesting part of this update, though, is creating your own templates. Within this, you can remove specific sections, adjust the tone, and generally reformat recap summaries to suit your preferences. And I'll just quickly walk you through the steps to do that as well. So you'll open a meeting chat within Teams, click onto Recap, select Custom Summary, select Create Template, which, as far as I'm aware, it looks like a plus sign. And then all you have to do using plain language is just describe your summary format in the text box or choose a prompt under suggestions as well. Then once you're happy with how you think you want it to look, you can select Preview to see what your custom recap summary will look like and your format applied. Now, if you're not entirely happy with it, you can clear that generated content and try a new template or format by selecting discard. To keep your format, however, once you are happy, save it, and so you can save it and use it at a later date. Select save and apply. Then last, all you have to do is name your template and save it again. And there you go. A fairly quick way to create a personalized meeting notes follow-up using templates and or instructions. Now, I'm sure it's going to take a bit of playing around with some of the best instructions and formats, but I reckon it could be very, very impactful for those of us who are constantly in meetings and trying to catch up and stay on top of all the notes and actions that come out of these. It could be particularly useful if you happen to miss a meeting. Perhaps you can catch up in a format that's most easily digestible for you, so you can get up to speed with everything discussed and any key actions that might have been assigned to you as well. Now, this update is due by the end of this month. Up next, we have another Teams update. So soon, Teams will have a setting to prevent enter key from accidentally sending chat messages. Currently, when you're composing a chat message in Teams, the default enter key behavior is to send a message. And this is perfectly intuitive. You know, we have that across many, many apps and services that we already use. However, it can often result in a short communication split across multiple messages, or perhaps even a panic scramble by the sender to delete or edit the message that was sent prematurely. I know that I've been there, and I know that I'm not the only one as well. So here come Microsoft to the rescue. I don't say that too often, with a new setting. The new setting lets you choose what happens when you press enter while you're in the middle of composing a message. The default will, of course, remain to send the message, but there will be a new option that will start a new line. Regardless of what you choose, Shift plus Enter will always insert a new line. Now, to find this new option, check out that top long screenshot there. You navigate to your team settings, then to chats and channels, then scroll down a little bit to find the section headed "When writing a message, press Enter to," and then additionally, as you can see in the bottom screenshot, Teams will also start to display the current behavior of the Enter key. So just in case you change this setting when it first comes out, and then who knows, down the line you forget what combination of buttons you need to press, you'll have that little friendly reminder underneath the text box. And this update brings us all a little bit of peace of mind that when we're drafting a long message to send to our boss's boss or to a customer, that there's not going to be a chance that we accidentally send half a written message or send it because your cat jumped on the keyboard and hit enter as well. So this is one of those features that I really enjoy seeing when it's being rolled out, as it's another one of those that lets you customize the way that Teams best suits you and allow it to work best for you. And that can only be a good thing. And it looks like Mike agrees in the chat that it's about time that we've had this option brought to us. And this update is on the horizon, actually. It's due between mid and late February. Now, last up, I've gone ahead and thrown in a little bit of a bonus feature for you all. And don't say I don't treat you nice. Microsoft Teams is introducing a new drafts section. And this is set to help you find, edit, and send draft messages. So selecting drafts, as you can see marked by the number 1, shows you your draft messages across Teams. So number 2 shows you the full list of them there. And then from there, you can delete, edit, or send, which you can see by the number 3. As you can see in that screenshot, drafts will be listed at the top of your chat section under followed threads. This looks like a pretty great way to spot any messages that you think you've sent, but never actually got around to sending. Or perhaps you'll have changed the setting I just talked about. You've gone to hit enter to send your message, gone to grab a coffee, come back, got distracted, and actually your message hasn't been sent. Or maybe you have similar tendencies to me, perhaps, that occasionally happen. You'll be in the middle of a task. Let's say you're responding to a message, and then you get that notification ping sound, the one that triggers that eye twitch you've got. And then your attention jumps to the new shiny message or notification, which turns into more actions, and on and on and on the ball rolls. Well, in that scenario, you might have left a few draft messages unsent, perhaps, that's where this new draft section is here to keep you on top of that. So, as I said, number one in the screenshot, that's where you'll click into it, which will then display any and all of the draft messages that you've got in number two. Then once you click into that, into whichever particular draft you want to start looking at, it'll open the chat or channel that you were drafting the message in. So that means you can see the context of the other messages in that chat, and you can then start to iterate your message from there. And that might be actually extra useful, perhaps if someone's already answered the question that you were replying to, or maybe they've beaten you to making that really funny joke and it's just not going to line up the same way as you had intended anymore. But anyway, this update is a nice one, giving us a succinct way to stay on top of all of our draft messages, and it's set to be released mid to late March. And it looks like, again, we have another very excited attendee for this feature coming as well. So keep an eye out for it rolling out. And that's it. That's us for today. I just want to quickly let you know about the next webinar in this series. That'll be coming next month. So that'll be taking place on Thursday, the 5th of March, and you can register for that now, or just directly through our website, or through the link that my colleague has posted in the chat box just now. We look forward to seeing you all there, of course, and if there's any topics or questions you wish for me to cover in the next webinar, then please get in touch and I'll be happy to have a look. I've had an email this morning actually just asking to look at some of the differences between that transition between what do they call it, old Outlook to new Outlook, or classic Outlook to new Outlook. So I'll be sure to have a little look at that next time. That's the link in the chat just now. So if you want to get it into your diary, then go ahead and register just now. Remember that all of these webinars are recorded and accessible through our YouTube channel and website. So make sure to go and have a look if you're interested in seeing some of the stuff that you've missed. And also feel free to share them with your colleagues as well. I will just quickly take you through our stakeholder workshop that Bedroq run called the 8 Rocks Assessment. It goes back to those 8 rocks that I talked through right at the beginning of the webinar. And it's a stakeholder workshop designed to get consensus on your business priorities. It can be conducted face-to-face or virtually, and it gets leaders and investors aligned behind the best way to fully assess your IT strategy. There are no cost implications with this other than a mutual investment of time. So if you're an IT leader at your organization and you need a bit of backup to prove to the CFO that you need to make further investment into your IT, or if you are just looking to better use your existing investments, well, we're happy to look at all of these things. So let us know if this is something that might interest you, and we'll be happy to set this up and introduce you to the team that will walk you through this process. Now we've got a bit of time for Q&A. So if you have any questions that have come to you or are coming to you, then please just put them into the box at the side and I will answer them. I'll just grab a drink and have a look at what's come through. Okay, so doesn't look like we've got any questions on the topics from today, but Mike has suggested that perhaps I could advise on the version numbers of these upcoming changes and when they're predicted to be in. So yeah, of course I can start to add those in as a little bit of extra information at the end as well, if that would be helpful. So absolutely not a problem. If and when we know the actual information, Microsoft don't always tag them with this sort of detail, but I'll see what I can do. Okay, and if that's everything, then if you have any more questions, as you're looking through the fact sheet that I'll send out later today, then please feel free to just simply reply to that email that I'll send out with the recording. As always, I'll be happy to help with any queries about the content in this webinar or anything else, and we'll look to cover your suggestions in the future. Just a quick reminder about cybersecurity. If it's on your mind, you want to talk to us about it and find out a bit more about how we can support you, then please just get in touch. So again, thank you very much for joining us today, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. Goodbye.